So it's not just like, oh, I'm trying to match exactly what the pianist is doing in his fingers. It's like, no, what is the harmonic essence? What was that? Da, 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 da. That didn't sound like a regular diatonic chord, right? Right? So we're going back to a 4. We're going back to a 4 chord. What is a logical chord to have as a passing chord before the 4?
One dominant.
Yep, exactly. Exactly, an A7. But the cool thing here is that this is not your average A7 voicing. So let's try to figure out what the heck is he doing here to make that A7 sound so beautiful.
Look what you did, kid.
Da, so top note, da, is F sharp. Okay. So here's where we start our little problem solving process, right? Because when you encounter a voicing, like, okay, so for me, I can hear this because it's already kind of in my vocabulary. I kind of know what it is. But let's say that you don't know what it is. How do you troubleshoot what's going on here? The first thing you need to have is have functional harmony mastered, right? So that you would know that it's even an A7 in the first place that you're using, right? So first you need to have that. Like, okay, I know it's an A7. It's an A7 type sound. It's gonna be something related to that. If I have a bunch of voicings for A7, I just have to figure out what voicing it is. The first thing I would do is track what the top note of the voicing is. So, right, top note is, because he goes, all right. So, are there any A7 voicings that we know that go on a 5, 7, a 4 that have an F sharp in the top? Yes, there are. And that would be our classic A-B voicing that looks like this. So the first low res guess that I'm going to have is this. So if we put this in context, I mean, it makes sense, right? So, right? That sounds great. Here's the thing. There's a couple little aspects to his voicing that are a little different than that, but that's a really great start.
Look what you did, kid.
Da, 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 da. So first things first, there's not a natural 9, there's a flat 13 in there. Oh, sorry, there's not a natural 9, there's a flat 9 in there. So instead of this, I want to change it to it's kind of up a little higher. So that's the second guess. So that's really close. Ooh, come on now, that's fire. See what I'm doing so far? I'm trying to take you through my logical process. So it's not just like, oh, I'm trying to match exactly what the pianist is doing in his fingers. It's like, no, what is the harmonic essence of what is happening here? That is so pretty. So I think there's one little detail that I might be missing. Let's check this.
The whole outfit. Look what you did, kid. Whole outfit.
Da, 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 da.
Look what you did, kid.
Okay, one thing I'm hearing is the flat 9 octave thing. So now I need to figure out how to incorporate that into my voicing because there's definitely 2 notes that are minor ninth apart from each other in this voicing. So, how do I want to look at this? So we have this, okay. Where can I put the minor ninth? Where would that exist? I could have A here. Eh. Mm. There we go. We're enclosing it by an octave. Look at that. I think he puts the 13 on under the voicing. So instead of having to play A in the bottom here, which is already handled by the bassist, he puts the 13 of the A13 up, tucks it under the voicing, and we get that beautiful kind of dissonant kind of texture going into the four chord and then the three and then the two. So there we go. That's how you problem solve and troubleshoot a voicing that you're not sure of. Again, it kind of hinges on you being fluent in harmony first. But that is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. So there's a little more to what he's doing. Let's kind of look at it.
That's what you wanted, that's what you get. A whole album. Yeah, yeah. Look what you did, kid. Yeah, a whole album. See what you did to me. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what is going on there? That is nasty in the best way possible.
See what you did to me. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so it's lots of movements, right? Because it's literally only 4-3-2, but he's going ba 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 into the four. Okay, so what the heck is happening there? I'll show you what's happening. Now, again, how do you troubleshoot this kind of thing? You want to be tracking the top melody. And you also want to be tracking what chord is at play and when does it change. Okay? Because if the melody's moving and the chord is the same, but it feels like the piano player is like moving the chords, the piano player is still doing things that is respecting the chord that's at play. So if there's a D major 7 that's being played, right? If the melody's going like that, it has to be some type of triad pairing thing going on. It's just shifting the triads inside. So when it comes to a D major 7, can someone tell me the kinds of triads that we can use on top of a D major, on top of a 4 chord here in this case, this D major 7? What are the triads that we can use on top of this and why? Hint, there's 2 main ones that I'm thinking of.
Can you repeat your question?
Mm-hmm.
I was practicing that.
the
Could
yeah,
you
yeah.
yeah.
put on top of that?
What'd you say, James?
Could a 2 be placed on top of that 4?
Like a B minor?
Okay, we're in the key. Yeah.
Yes, that is absolutely true. Yes, you can use a B minor on it, and it would create like a 13 kind of sound. But there are 2 others that I'm thinking of.
Okay, that's one. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, another guess. How
Yeah.
about a 1? How about a 1?
An A?
Yeah.
You're right again, James. But it's so funny. I was thinking of 2 other triads. I guess there's more than
It's
the 2 I was
okay.
thinking.
All right, I'm done.
But the A chord on top of D would work perfectly as like a hybrid major 9 sound. 100%, that would work. So it looks like, sorry, go ahead.
So your question is, what triad can you put on top of D?
Yes. What triads can you use to decorate a D major 7 in the key of A?
You can also put E.
It's the Lydian. What about the most normal one to put on top of D? Like,
Okay, then F sharp.
yes,
Yeah,
F sharp minor.
okay.
Exactly. Because that is literally the upper structure of the chord.
Okay. So you're asking this.
So we have established, with the help of James, actually, because I was not thinking about the other two, that you can use an F sharp minor triad on this 4 chord. You can use an E, Lydian upper structure. We could use a major 9 hybrid, and we can use B minor, which is like a major 6 kind of sound. Yeah, a D6 sound. Yes. Okay. So what's happening here is, let me play it again because I know we've been talking a lot.
See what you did to me.
All right, so that's what the piano's doing. Now, all 3 of those notes are on top of the D. So how's he harmonizing those? We're just using triads. So it's really this kind of thing. All right, you see the solution there? Here we go. So pretty. So we got F sharp minor, E, then F sharp minor again. Totally a triad pairing thing. Then I was like, oh, interesting. So what happens here is,
See what you did to me. Oh, yeah.
so what happens is the chord changes. So now we have an B on the top, but we're not quite at the A7 yet. We're not quite the A7. So, big brain question here. If we are not on the D major chord anymore, but there's a chord that's in between the D major and an A7 coming, what could that in-between chord be? What is that in-between chord most likely to be, just based on jazz harmony principles? If you think about it like this, if the 5-7 of 4, the A7 to D major 7 is 5-1, what always comes before the 5-1? Blank 5-1. Yeah. So, oh, yo, I'm dead at the balloons. That's funny. So what would be the 2 relative to the D? Because the D is like the 1 here, because it's a 2-5 of 4, right? D is 4. What would be the 2 relative to D? E. Yes, I heard. I saw you mouth it. Yes. And what quality would that 2 usually be? Would it be a major 7 sharp 11 chord on E? Would it be a dominant flat 9? What would be on the E? What's usual or normal to have on the 2 in a 2-5-1?
It's a minor.
Exactly. So we're looking at an E minor chord being there.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes perfect sense because on the top of the E minor chord is a B. So now look what happens when I add on the E minor. It's going to be E minor 9 to this sequence. Perfect. Matches perfectly. So you got and then of course we have the A7, same A7 that he was using before. Let's listen to it one more time.
That's what you wanted, that's what you get a whole album. Yeah, yeah. Look what you did, kid. Yeah, whole album. See what you did to me. Oh, yeah.
You hear what he's doing there? So we got